Welcome agents. Today we got a lot of changes coming with the PTS and the live game, including significant changes to the cooldowns of all skills, changes to time to kill within PvP for the live game to help with the shotgun meta, and a lot more positive news. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below, subscribe for dedicated Division content, and let's get straight to it. Alright, so there were some significant positive changes being tested on the PTS and coming to the live game with TU5. Hamish had Rasmus, game developer at Massive, and Chris, community developer, on today's state of the game. Now the devs confirmed a maintenance will be coming tomorrow. I suspect at the usual time, but this was not confirmed on stream, and this should bring a fix for picking up specialization ammo. The devs confirmed this is the 5th time they've put in a fix for this issue, but just like the Revive Hive, it's likely not going to be the last time. Now moving on, the devs started talking about the PTS roadmap. The new story mode for the Operation Dark Hours raid and matchmaking went live with the PTS today, so the devs have asked for feedback on the difficulty. Having seen some people who've played it already, it looks significantly easier, and it's meant to give you a taste of the proper experience. It's a very good move in my opinion, allowing players who cannot find a group for now to go into the raid and figure out the mechanics and get rewarded for it. I imagine that if people really do get through this pretty easily, that it may well be added to the full experience at some point later on in the future, but that was not mentioned in stream at all. On the topic of the rewards for this version of the raid, the devs confirmed these are not finalised. People have reported that raid exclusive gear sets are dropping on the PTS, which will likely be the case when this goes live. Now the devs confirm they want to incentivize people to go into this story mode version of the raid, but not reward players quite at the level of the main experience, which is fair enough. The devs did go on to confirm, however, that the Eagle Bearer will not drop in the story mode version of the raid, which is why I believe the exclusive gear sets probably will. Moving on, and the devs confirm the Eagle Bearer will not drop from heroic missions, even if you already have it, because it is a raid exclusive, and the new Diamondback exotic rifle will drop once you have obtained this exotic as well, so that will drop from heroic missions. They didn't really give any hints at how to obtain this weapon, but they mentioned possibly expeditions and going east instead of west, but they really didn't go into it any further than that. Either way, I'm sure someone will find it once they go live on the PTS, which I believe is on the 8th. And a YouTube video will probably follow that as well. Next up, and we've got a bit of a juicy one here, the devs briefly talked about shotguns in PvP. Now this is certainly a hot topic right now, not one that I've had any input on because I've had no reason to play PvP in the Division 2 for some time, but I've seen all the videos and the posts on the subject, so I'm pretty up to speed with the whole situation. Now the devs have confirmed that shotguns, they're very weak in PvE, so what they're going to do is they're going to buff them in PvE and nerf them in PvP, which isn't strictly true. They're not actually nerfing them, so just bear with me here. The way they're actually going to counter the shotgun meta is reduce the time to kill to make it faster for every other weapon type, is what I gather here. They said they're going to basically increase the time to kill. They didn't give exact numbers, but I'm personally very happy with this change. The devs are deliberately trying to buff things in this game rather than nerf them, which in almost all scenarios is a positive move. Now, my interpretation of the shotgun meta would have had me call for the same change, to be honest. I would rather they do this than just nerf the shotgun. To me, it wasn't actually the shotguns that were too strong. It was that every other weapon was too weak due to the increased time to kill caused by all of the armor changes and, you know, a select few talents like Unbreakable, for example. Now, every video I've seen on this issue shows the same thing. A shotgun player dropping people with 2 bullets, while the other player, using, say, an assault rifle, has to shoot, 2 mags of full AR bullets to down the shotgun player. To me, that's not an issue with the time to kill. For shotguns, it's an issue with all the other weapons not being strong enough. And actually, the time to kill generally across all weapons, except for shotguns, is too high. So I think the time to kill needed to be adjusted, and I'm personally really happy with this change. I'd like to hear your feedback in the comments down below, guys. If any of you guys play PvP a lot, I'm sure you know the time to kill generally is too high. I think everyone can probably agree with me on that. What do you think of this change? Would you rather see a nerf to shotguns to make them kind of come down to the same level as something like an assault rifle? Or do you think it's better that they've just decreased the time to kill across all other weapons and that way bringing those weapons up to a similar time to kill as shotguns? Let me know. Okay, moving on, the devs confirm not all skill changes have been implemented at this point on the PTS, and then Hamish read out an entire dissertation on all the changes coming to the cooldowns of each skill. Now, rather than write them all down, and it may just come across as being completely uncomprehensible, I thought it'd actually be best I just insert the clip from today's State of the Game where Hamish confirms every change coming to the base cooldowns of each skill to be tested on the PTS. So check it out.
Here are some of the things that will be coming in the next PTS build. All right, we've lowered the base cooldown on the following skills. Scanner pulse from 90 seconds down to 40. Remote pulse from 120 down to 60. Jammer pulse from 120 down to 90. Assault turret 120 to 60, so that's half. Incinerator turret from 120 to 90. Sniper turret 240 down to 60. That's a huge reduction. Artillery turret 240 to 60 as well. Restorer hive 240 down to 90. Stinger hive the same. Booster hive the same. Burster firefly 90 down to 60. Same for demolisher firefly as well as the explosive seeker mine, so 90 to 60 for those. Cluster seeker mine is down from 60 to 40. Mender seeker mine from 180 down to 60. Striker drone from 180 down to 60 as well. Bombardier drone 120 down to 60. Fixer drone 180 down to 60. Tactician drone 180 down to 60. Bulwark shield 240 down to 40. Crusader shield from 240 down to 40 as well. Deflector shield down from 240 to 40. So shields are getting a big reduction in that. I don't actually envy the people who have to transcribe all this. For I know like people put all this on Reddit.
Thank you, Hamish.
Hopefully you can like slow me down to half speed.
Yeah.
In addition to the shield cooldown changes, they increased the base health of shields by 15% globally. Changed the shield regeneration to now be percentage based. Base is 5% HP per second while holstered and 2.45% while deployed. Changed the base ammo for sniper turret from 5 to 15 and mortar turret ammo from 4 to 10. Increased bombardier drone bomb drop blast radius from 4 to 5 meters. Wow. 20% buff. Okay.
Math again.
I know. Increased Alps Summit Armament 1-piece skill haste bonus from 10 to 20%. Increased China Light Industries Corporation 3-piece skill haste bonus from 10 to 30%. Increased Petrov Defense Group 3-piece skill haste bonus from 10% to 30%. Increased Tip of the Spear 3-piece skill haste bonus from 20% to 40%. Increased the amount of skill haste gained from utility attribute rolls by an additional 25%. Doubled the amount of skill haste provided by all skill haste mods. Increased Hive network firewall radius from 60 to 100%. Increased turret cyclone management mortar. Increased turret cyclone magazine mortar ammo from +4 to +20. Increased turret ammo box extra mortar ammo from, that's the one I just read. Increased turret ammo box extra sniper ammo from 6 to 30. Increased Firefly tungsten compound and guiding system max targets from 3 to 5%. Damn it, Bruce. Some changes that didn't make it into the first phase of PTS as well. Increased the base damage of explosive seeker mine by 14% and decreased base damage of burster and demolisher firefly by 25%.
So what do you think? Is this a good or a bad move? Now, I've not been able to test anything at this point, so I can't say either way. But I've seen all the posts on Reddit stating that cooldown reductions have been significantly nerfed, meaning all the buffs made to the skill mods were negated by the very infrequent uptime of the skills. A good way of picturing this is imagine you have the Seeker Mines, for example, and in the current live game they do 100k damage per hit with a 10-second cooldown. Let's say for the PTS they buff the overall damage but decrease the cooldown. What about say 400k damage but a 50-second cooldown? Which one has the better DPS? Well, the first one of course, because in 50 seconds you would be able to do 500k damage instead of the 400k, which is 20% more than the second. Well, that's basically what happened with the skill changes, to be honest. So it looks like they've made some significant changes to skill haste by buffing it significantly, and the base cooldowns on all skills have been reduced drastically, especially the shield, which is gone from like 240 or 260 seconds down to 40 seconds. So overall the skills will do more damage. They will have much shorter cooldowns, resulting in more DPS and a reason to actually run a skill build. It's a very positive change. I'm looking forward to seeing all of your guys' posts on this because I'm sure you guys are going to be very vocal about these changes on the PTS. But I think this is positive on paper. Let's see how it tests out. Moving on, the devs talked about the changes to crafting and recalibration, which was already included in the patch notes, so I'm not going to go over those. They did confirm that deconstructing gear sets will now give you specialized materials, and by now I mean for TU5, not the live game. Now, following this, they went on to talk about the account-wide blueprint sharing feature being tested on the PTS, you will be required to obtain a perk from Anaya, and then you can share blueprints with any character that also has this perk, meaning you have to be World Tier 1 or higher to share blueprints. They also confirmed that although the blueprint pools had effectively become one big pool, now meaning you can farm control points for every blueprint or projects or whatever, this doesn't apply to the blueprints you would obtain from side missions, which I think that's pretty obvious, to be honest, but it's worth mentioning in case anyone was unsure. Alright agents, so there you go. Thank you very much for watching today's video. If you did watch it to the end, thanks for all your support. I do really appreciate it. It feels good to making a positive video. I appreciate yesterday's video was very negative, and I'm over it. You know, I'm looking forward to TU5. I'm looking forward to actually playing through the new stuff. So yeah, thanks for your support, guys. Till the next one, Epic out.